Junior Qigong. We are on day 23 of the 31-day practice for January. I'm making a little video of some of the practices that I incorporate into my classes for the world to see. Hopefully some of you are able to come to my live classes, which are in Perth in Western Australia. And if not, I hope you enjoy what I've brought to you online. So I'm bringing you a beautiful sequence tonight, and there are people around, so don't mind, what's going on around me. I'm not bothered. I'll do anything, I'm not afraid to be myself. And Qigong is something that I think, people should just be doing. We should just be doing it and feeling okay with doing it. You see the oldies in the park doing Tai Chi and things. Be brave. Go out there and do it. And don't worry about how you look, because you look awesome. That's what I think. If I see people like that, I'm like, look at those cool people. What are they doing? Wishing I was doing it too. So we're going to start just getting into sinking into posture. And I think I'm going to start with a bit of a Zhan Zhuan this evening. I don't know where that came from. So we're just actually going to bring our hands to right in front of lower Dantian. And I want to do this practice and just talk for a bit about the Dantian and what that means. So this is kind of in front of, from the belly button down, including the legs. That's our lower Dantian. And there's lots of organs in that space internally. So we've got lower, and then we've got middle, which is kind of this area here, and then our upper Dantian is our head and above. And in Chinese medicine, the Dantian all have to, so we have to have the lower Dantian working really well in order for the middle Dantian to, to do all its good stuff. And then the upper Dantian is, all of our thinking processes can happen. So, we really are focusing on the core a lot during Qigong. And the core is not, whenever I had sort of thought about the core before I did this training, it was in the context of the musculature that is in the core. So, I do a lot of, I do abdominal massage, but it was more, my ideas and my thoughts were around the core being the muscles, but the core's not the muscles, it's right in deep. So think about right in the middle of your belly, that's your core, and that kind of expands out. So, and it includes the muscle, but it also includes all of the intestines and, the kidneys, and so we can't ignore that as part of our core. We have to have a healthy internal system happening in order for all the other systems to work. And we are working a lot with lower Dantian. We do work with middle and upper as we're moving up into the higher postures. And it kind of relates in a way to the three treasures there, which is the Jing, the Qi, and the Shen. So the three treasures in Qigong refer to kind of, the Jing is what we're given, and what mum and dad gave to us, and then how our body has developed. So the natural sort of our DNA and the building blocks that determine the rest of the structures. So that's your Jing, and your Jing can be changed. So I don't ever get into this thought pattern of of all these things which can be hereditary or congenital, because sometimes we can influence that to happen just by believing that it's going to. So we can influence our foundational building blocks to change, but more importantly, we are then creating the Qi, which is, it's all of the body, it's all of the parts, the structures, everything that we are, as well as the way it works. So, we can have all of our organs there, and we can have all of our systems fully intact, but the food that we're eating and what we're consuming slows it down, you know, changes the efficacy of it, creates, you know, congestion and sluggishness, which then impacts in the long term the Jing. So Qi is all of those things. So when we're talking about Qi, it's not some magical thing. It is what our body does, what it produces, but it's energetic based. So, you know, doing all those things is energy in motion, basically. If you understand what energy is, we are all of these different things happening at once, and creating outputs. So Qi is, you know, basically that. And then Shen, when we have this amazing, strong, solid foundation through, you know, our Jing, and then our Qi, you know, we've been working and, you know, we're putting good food into our body, and, you know, we're breathing air, and we are connecting with nature, and we are filling up, you know, ourselves kind of in a more emotional way. We're able to then come to a better place in the head, and that's our Shen, our spirit. So when our body all works really well and everything's functioning and everything feels fantastic and we're doing the right things, we are actually better in the mind. Our mental health is better. We are allowed to then, all our basic needs, our foundational things are taken care of. So then we can go out and create art and be alive and experience, you know, all these wonderful emotions that sit up in that spirit kind of realm, or the idea of it. So, you know, Qigong is not woo-woo. It's, you know, there is the physical, it's grounded in the physical, but it also acknowledges that the spirit itself is an essential part of the human body and of the body's functioning. So, you know, we're working through Jing, Qi, Shen, and, you know, our Shen is then replenishing the Jing of us that may have been not quite as strong. So that's what we're doing in Qigong. We're focusing on the lower Dantian. So we're going to bring our hands down here, and we're just going to do some nice Qi rocking. So if you've joined me before, you'll know that that is just a gentle rock from 2 points on the soles of the feet. And our hands are just nicely sort of pointing down towards lower Dantian. And this is a beautiful Zhanzhuan practice which will help you, you know, really connect to the idea of the lower, middle and upper Dantian in your practice. So we're just breathing, rocking forwards and rocking backwards, and really drop into this practice. You might like to send the consciousness, your awareness, down into your lower Dantian and connect in with what's down there. You know, do you ever think about what's inside of you? There's some chocolate inside of me. I ate some. We went to a chocolate company today and it was fantastic. So there's definitely some chocolate down there in my Dantian, and my stomach's saying thank you. And yeah, really, if you are someone who has issues, dysfunction, trouble with movement, pain, anything around the hips and, you know, the lower the legs, just really make this practice one where you are breathing, and when you exhale, just imagine that exhale is traveling down your arms, through the hands, and then back into your lower Dantian. This is energy healing. This is simply bringing the goodness in, directing it, focusing it on that area. And instead of bringing in, oh, it's pain, it doesn't work, it's broken, let's bring in this idea of I'm functional, I am a healthy, strong human being. If you have more anatomical knowledge, you could even, you know, talk to your body and say, you know, my gluteus medius on the left-hand side, I'm sorry that you've been injured, but I love you and here is some healing. You know, these things, what we say to ourselves, our self-talk is so important. We can be so powerful. and yet we don't embrace that. So we're really just breathing and rocking and sending all of that intention down into our lower dantian, down through the legs, into the feet, back down through the earth, and then we're cycling it back through with the breath. So we're bringing that, breathing it back in, cycling it all the way through. So we're even, you know, clearing out the system with all of these beautiful, deep, intentional breaths. We can then move our hands up to just kind of in front of your chest area. So about where the lungs are, where the solar plexus is, which is kind of just in here, from there to about here. This is all our middle dantian. So again, we're just simply breathing, doing the gentle rocking. And if you'd like to send that intentional sort of breath, breathe it in to the diaphragm, which I guess is in the middle dantian, and then out through the arms and back into the chest. If you're somewhere beautiful like me, you can really draw that clear energy in from the trees. There's beautiful gardens here, flowers. There's sounds of nature. And yes, this is slow. I'm not doing a lot of talking. It might be boring, but that's the point. We're so busy in our heads. This is an opportunity to switch off the thinking, just slow down, come back to a really peaceful place. Remind your body, your nervous system, how to be calm. And our last posture is for our upper dantian, which, you know, you could do it here or you could do it just pointing down, which we've done quite a lot of. So let's just bring the hands in front of the face, cycling that breath around and through, and do your gentle chi rocking, keeping your shoulders pinned back. This is a tiring posture. The lower postures are much less taxing on the arms. This one, you are going to fatigue quicker, but really just take yourself to your edge. Don't push yourself over so that you're into an injury if that's your concern. Just nudge yourself gently over the edge and see if you can take your practice to that little bit longer, using the breath to flush out any of that discomfort. Just gently rocking. There's a beautiful breeze. I feel peace. I feel harmony within my body. And when you're ready, we can just slowly bring the hands down. And my eyes are closed. If your eyes are closed, just keep them closed down while you bring the hands slowly down the body, compacting down all of that chi, all of that goodness, feeling that deep connection between the mind and the body, and the peace that comes from a beautiful Qigong practice. And that is your practice for this evening. Once again, I am Kristen from Karinya Qigong. I will be bringing to you a live class down at Homestead Park on Sunday morning in Perth. Please come down if you are a Perth local. It's a beautiful little class. I also bring all my sound equipment, and I have a lot of it. And we have an absolutely incredible group of humans showing up every week just to connect. It's by donation. And I would love to see you down there. Otherwise, drop me a comment or a like, and I will see you in the next installment of Karinya Qigong's 31-day January challenge. Peace out.